Hi, boys and girls. This week we're going to continue our work with points of view or perspective. We're going to use the second half of this slideshow. It's a matter of perspective by Deb Hansen. What does perspective mean? Hey, I recognize a root within the word perspective. I bet I'll be able to use the root to help define the word. The Latin root is spect. It means to see. Perspective refers to how a person sees a given situation. Two people can have two different perspectives. That means two people can see things differently. Let's take a look at more examples. This is a passage that I'm going to read to you, and after reading the passage, we are going to discuss the author's point of view. It says adults often discuss the problems with schools today. Student safety, test scores, and bullying are among the main topics of concern. Rather than just talk about the problems, there is one easy step that schools can take to combat these frequently discussed problems. The solution is to have students wear school uniforms. There are several benefits to support a school uniform policy. Research shows that school uniforms increase student safety. In 2012, a school in Nevada that instituted a school uniform policy showed a 63% drop in police log reports. Students who wear uniforms to school also benefit because they are more focused on their schoolwork and are less concerned with what they are wearing. Research shows that this shift in focus results in improved school performance. Finally, schools with uniform policies have more positive environments. Studies show that less bullying takes place in these schools. Also, students tend to have a greater sense of belonging and feel school pride. Clearly, there are significant benefits to implementing a school uniform policy. Improving school safety, performance, and a sense of belonging are just a few of the many positive outcomes for students who wear uniforms. What is the author's perspective? The author believes that students should wear school uniforms. Now we're going to go back in the passage to underline evidence. So now you can see the evidence is underlined on the first part of the passage. The first sentence that's underlined is the solution is to have students wear school uniforms. Well, that shows that the author strongly believes that. The next sentence says research shows that school uniforms increase student safety. Also underlined, students are more focused on their schoolwork, and research shows that this shift in focus results in improved school performance. Also, it says that they have more positive environments, that there's less bullying taking place in these schools, there's a greater sense of belonging and feel school pride, and that clearly there are significant benefits to implementing a uniform policy in schools. All of these parts of this piece of writing show the author's perspective. Let's take a look at another passage. Mom, Garrett, and I decided to meet at the basketball court at the park and play some one-on-one. What time do I need to be home for supper? Asked Landon. You haven't finished your chores, have you? Finish them up before you leave for the park, and then be home by 5:30, answered Mom. Can't I finish my chores after supper? Garrett is going to be waiting for me, and it's rude to keep a friend waiting, said Landon. Yes, it is rude to keep a friend waiting, but you know our family rules, Landon. Chores before playing. You should have planned a reasonable time to meet your friend that allowed you time to finish your chores before you left, Mom replied. I don't know why I have to do chores anyway, grumbled Landon. Garrett doesn't have to do chores at his house. Well, I must admit, I feel sorry for Garrett then. It will be difficult for him to learn a sense of responsibility if he doesn't have to help out his family with chores, reasoned Mom. As Landon quickly began cleaning the dishes out of the dishwasher, he thought about what his mom had said. Although he never admitted it to her, He had to agree with he had to agree that his mom made a valid point. Garrett could definitely be self-centered at times, and perhaps that was partly due to always being waited on by his parents. Plus, it really wasn't fair for him to expect his mom to do all the work around the house. Landon finished his chores within 10 minutes. My chores are done, so I'm heading out to the park, Mom. Landon called. See you at 5:30. Which of the following statements most likely represents the perspective of the author? Is it A, kids should never have to do chores at home? B, every kid should have to clean out the dishwasher? C, it is beneficial for kids to have assigned chores at home? Or D, playing basketball is unimportant? The answer is C, that it is beneficial for kids to have assigned chores at home. Okay, guys, here's our final passage. It's in the form of a letter. Dear Mr. Lincoln, I'm writing this letter to explain to you how very disappointed I am with the changes made to the PE schedule this year. In previous years, we got to go to PE 3 times in each 6-day cycle. This year, it was decided that students would only go to PE class 2 times out of each 6-day cycle so that 2 schools could share 1 PE teacher. I do not agree with this new policy for several reasons. First, PE is my favorite special, and I know that it is the favorite of many of my classmates too. We miss playing fun games in PE every other day. I am always more excited to go to school on PE days, and now that these days don't happen as often, I am left feeling dejected when I look at the schedule most mornings and see that PE isn't on our list of activities. In fact, there are some weeks when we only have PE once in the entire week. Second, adults are always telling kids that they need to spend more time being physically active and less time sitting and playing video games. If it is really important or truly important for kids to be physically active, why did you reduce the amount of time we spend being physically active in PE each week and increase the time we spend sitting at our desks? Please reconsider your decision to decrease the number of days we have PE. I hope that by next year we will return to our schedule of having PE every other day. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to receiving a response from you. Sincerely, Beth Hornbeck. Which of the following statements most likely represents the perspective of the author? Is it A, playing video games is harmful for kids? B, students should have PE class at least every other day? C, children should spend less time in PE and more time learning in their classroom? Or D, music is an unnecessary school subject, but PE is important? The answer choice is B. Students should have PE class at least every other day.